afternoon, boys and girls from Calhoun Middle School. I'm going to talk to you today about a very important topic, and one that I think many of you have lots of questions about, and that is our IV time. And you think, why are we doing IV time? And I'm going to share with you the whole purpose and the why behind why we do it and why we have the groups that we have. See, I don't know if you are aware, but there's this term called college and career ready. And as educators, it is our job to get you college and career ready. We can't wait until you're in high school to get you ready. We start when you're in pre-K. And we have to work on skills that build as you get older. We have lots of data from your test scores and how you perform in the classroom, your attendance, your behavior. There are a lot of indicators that help us know if you are on track to be college and career ready. And what that means is that you can go into a college class if you're choosing to go to college, and you don't have to take any remedial courses. And if you're not planning on going to college and you're planning on going into the workforce, then you enter that workforce ready to work. You don't need any training, any additional skills. Now, I know a lot of you think, well, if I'm just going to go to work, then why do I need to know how to read real good or do this or do that? Well, the jobs that your teachers are preparing you for when you grow up and get out of school, they don't even exist yet. So there's lots of things that are still the unknown because you know how technology is. And we're trying to prepare you to be problem solvers and real-world thinkers and outside-of-the-box thinkers. And you've got to be prepared to read manuals, know how to do those kind of things, know how to work technology. All this is called literacy. And our big push this year is literacy and trying to get you literate for the 21st century workforce. Now, I say all that to say that's where IV comes in. Colleges and people who hire you in the workforce are looking for a specific level for their students or their employees to be college and career ready. So we have you tracked. And you think, how do we track that? Well, you all took STAR Reading and STAR Math at the beginning of the school year. You also took the CRCT last year. When you took the CRCT in reading, it gave us what you call Lexile score. I know your teachers have talked to you about your Lexile score. Well, to be on track to be college and career ready, you have to have a very high Lexile score. So what we've done with IV is we've looked at your Lexile scores, what your teachers have said about you as students and readers, and we've looked at your STAR test. Now, I'm going to get up for just a moment and walk over to this because I want to show you something. You all took the STAR test a couple of first weeks of school. Some of you probably did not take that test seriously because you think, why do I need to take that test? Well, that test is important to us because it helps us determine if you're college and career ready, what IV class you go in, what kind of work we give you to do to practice in that particular class. If you'll look at the green, all these in green are at or above grade level, which means you're doing really good for 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade. If you're in blue, you're a little bit below where you need to be. Yellow and red, we really need to focus. So as teachers, we all sit down, we set goals for the year. You're going to take this test again in January. We want to see all these colors shift to the left and get more green on the board, okay? Because that lets us know you're growing as a reader. That means you're becoming more literate. You're becoming more college and career ready. We're also working on your literacy skills in the media, technology. We're putting together some lessons. We want IV to be a time that's a fun time. But wherever you score out on these tests and how you score out in your classroom, determines your IV group, because that's where you are the weakest. That's where you are with a group of people that y'all are weak in the same skill. So we have to practice every day in order to get better. And with saying that, I've got a guest with me today. And it's not only one of my favorite teachers when I was in school, one of my favorite people, but also one of my sweet dear aunts. Yes, we are related. And this is Coach Smith. Now, Coach Smith is here with me today because I don't know if you know yet, but she, her team last night became region champs, the high school softball. One more time. Whoop, whoop,
yeah, baby!
And so she's
region champs.
But my question, Coach Smith, is, okay, so you're region champs. That's kind of like we graduate students from school, they become college and career ready. Well, can we just graduate students and say, yeah, they're college and career ready? Can you just go out there at a ball game and win it and become a region champ?
No. We've got to work. We've got to practice. We start in July to get ready for our first game in August. The kids play all summer. They take lessons. They play on travel teams. They devote a lot of time and money to being good, and it paid off last night. We beat a team that had beaten us 3 times this season, and we waited till last night to put the whoop on them, baby. I mean, but it came from us working together and working on the weaknesses that we had, and, cut down on our defensive mistakes, and we worked on base running, and it all came together last night, and we are now region champions, and we're going to go to the next level. So, people, if you've got to practice these tests and take them, get your little butt in there and do the best you can. Do the best you can do. If you can't do your best, you just don't need to be doing it. You know what I'm saying?
And that makes a lot of sense. You did a lot of practicing. You said base running, defensive, things where you messed up. And so if your players were weak in a certain area, then they got more intense practice and training in that area. They also did some on their own, too, because you said they chose to be on travel teams.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Well, when you're trying to work on being college and career ready and being literate, you're working on the areas where you are the weakest. So that's why you're in the groups you're in IV. But do you know if you really work and practice and you get better and you outpass or whatever, get better than the people in the group you're in, we can move you to another group. These groups switch. In January, you're going to take the STAR test again. And we're going to restructure all these groups based on what you score on the STAR. So there we can work on your deficits again. And then our reward is going to be that you're on track to be college and career ready. So I hope that I've answered your questions for today. And when you go into your classrooms and you go to IV, I want you to take those times serious. And I also want you reading at home and your leisure time. I hope you have an awesome day and an awesome week and weekend.